Hello everyone. I welcome you all to the session number 8 of AI Tools in Research, Unit 1. In this session, we will be talking about the modern AI. The AI, this session onwards actually, we will be starting to look at the AI that you are right now using in your day-to-day life. For an example, ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. This session is about the understanding of them. So for an example, if there is a research tool or AI tool that only reads the text, it does not do anything else. Does it really understand the result? So I was working with a tool earlier that was only reading the text. I remember the initial part of ChatGPT when it just launched. It was just printing text, nothing else. Okay, and it was just also understanding text. Does it really understand the result? It does not, right? Because many scientific findings live mainly in a chart or a diagram. So a text only tool never even sees them. It just reads the text. So a system. That means for one tool, only one channel. Text can be one of the channels. Okay. For one tool, if there is only one channel, it cannot read it. It cannot read the information that system does not have. Uh, a channel a system cannot read is the information that system does not have. So if it cannot read the images, it does not have the information about the images, no matter how well it reads everything else. Okay, so now today we will be focusing on something called monomodal versus multimodal AIs. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about monomodal AI. A monomodal AI is just one kind of input AI. For an example, if AI model, I will now denote AI model as a box. You feed in some input to that box and it will give you some output. You all use ChatGPT, okay? So you feed in a text as an input, it gives you another text as an output. That's a monomodal AI. That the input can be done only in one type. Either it is only text or it can be only image. What is a only image kind of AI? Google Lens, right? You have all used Google Lens. You can only send the image through Google Lens. That's a monomodal AI. Only works with images. Okay. Some AIs are only video only AIs. You just can only send videos. Like actually images and videos are same. Some AIs are text on speech only AIs. Okay. They only work on the voice recordings. They are called monomodal AI. कि इसमें से एक ही टाइप का डेटा अगर आप इनपुट में दे सकते हो, okay, only one type of data if you can give an input and output is also similar kind of data, then this kind of AI model is called a monomodal AI. Earlier, like Eliza chatbot that we talked about, right? This Eliza chatbot is a monomodal AI. You just only give text, it gives you text back. That's all, nothing else. So the idea is a monomodal AI system processes only one kind of input, either text or image or nothing else. It is fast, it is simple and cheap to run, but it is blind to information carried by a channel it was never built to read. Okay, so classic text only language model can read a paper's abstract in a perfect detail, but it has no idea what the paper's central result figure actually shows because it was never given the image while training. Okay, so that's a monomodal AI. But nowadays, almost all the tools that you are using, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, every one of them are multimodal AIs. That means in every case, it is combining what it is reading and what it is seeing, and it is able to understand both of them. That's called a multimodal AI. So in that AI, you can feed in a text as an input. At the same time, you can feed in the image as an input. At the same time, you can talk with it. So voice can also be an input and it understands everything and gives you the output accordingly. It can also generate the output of text, image, and voice. So that's the new thing about this kind of AI. Okay, they are called multimodal AIs. So GPT-4, GPT-5 that we are using now, Google's Gemini, Claude, everything is a multimodal AI. Okay, they can understand the charts, they can understand photographs, and they can give the answer which are grounded in what the image actually shows. Okay, for an example, if I go to ChatGPT, let me show you a live demo. right now, I can go to chat GPT and I can give it an image. Okay, this is my account of chat GPT. I can give it an image by adding files, photos. Okay, I have some image here, like we have a few people here in the image. Let me ask it, what do you see in this? Yeah, as soon as I give enter, it is analyzing the image. There are many people who are standing together and it is writing the explanation. Okay, there are around 30 people. The group is arranged in 3 rows. The background is a building with large windows. There are trees in front of the building. Most people are dressed casually. The atmosphere looks informal and friendly, as if the photo was taken after a class or a workshop. Actually, this photo was taken after a workshop that I was taking in Pune University. So this is after a workshop. Some interesting detail: one person near the center left is covering their face with both hands, possibly laughing or avoiding the camera. So there is one person who is covering their face with both the hands. That person might be laughing, might be covering, protecting themselves for camera. Another person in front right is kneeling and smiling broadly. There are no obvious signs, banners, or event names visible in this occasion. So it is able to understand the image as well as a text. Okay, this is the new thing about ChatGPT. That's why it is multimodal AI. Next, a report says one thing in its paragraph. What if its chart says something else? Then we have to use a multimodal AI system to understand and do the research with this kind of reports. For an example, a financial report often tells the same story twice, once in prose and once in chart. A text-only tool only reads one of them. So modalities are not redundant copies of each other. Each one carries a finding, the other one leaves out. So missing one can mean missing the result. And that's why nowadays we are only using multimodal things in our day-to-day life. So let's talk about reading charts, not just numbers. So financial report for economics people often tells the same story twice. And the two do not always emphasize the same thing. So for an example, there is a GPT AI tool called FinWiz GPT. It is a multimodal model built specifically to read financial charts, generating descriptions, answering questions, and predicting trends directly from candlestick and technical indicator images, not just the text around it. For an example, two of our own students in MSc AI are trying to build a multimodal AI system which would read a PDF of your Google Pay or Phone Pay transactions, which would also be connected to your Google Pay or Phone Pay transactions. And based on that, it will give you a summary on where are you spending more money, where are you not spending more money. It can also give you some financial advice backed on principles, that this much percentage you should invest here, this much percentage you should invest here to diversify the portfolio. You should reduce the expenditure on Zomato probably. This is something that is happening actually. Okay, so our MSc AI students right now are making something like this, which is a multimodal AI system. In physics, the one event can speak two languages and both are different modes. For an example, when two neutron stars collide, the event can be detected twice. One mode is a gravitational wave and another mode could be a burst of gamma rays. And a multimodal analysis can be done combining the gravitational waves with gamma ray burst data from the same merger. It lets physicists confirm that one event happened in two independent ways. Okay, so each modality catches something that other misses. So gravitational wave is one mode and gamma rays is another mode. Text is one mode, image is another mode. This is how multimodal AI systems now are being used. For psychology people, could a machine hear you when you are upset, or even when your words insist that you are fine? For an example, I can say I'm fine. So if a model just listening to my words, then it would just listen to I'm fine. But if it can hear me, hear the tone, intonations, one step ahead, it can also see me, see my emotions, then it could predict better on this case. So tone and word choices do not always agree. Reading only one of them can miss the more honest signals. And when the two channels disagree, the disagreement is not the noise. Okay, it can be the finding itself that the person might be saying this, but the person means this. When I say I'm fine, it does not mean I'm fine. Okay, if you are seeing me, you would know, right? So nowadays in psychology, we are doing these things. In the AI models are actually reading uh, the text that we use. It is also understanding the way I speak, and it is also seeing me in the real time, and then it is giving output on my emotions. So this is much more robust. Multimodal emotion recognition system is much more robust because it is combining facial expression, that is see, speech, that is listen, and spoken language, that is text, to give psychologists a more standardized objective read on emotional state than any single channel provides alone, right? Next, about English, if you are reading a medieval manuscript, it does not only have text, it will also have some sketches, okay? And that could be best processed by a multimodal AI pipeline. By multimodal AI pipeline, again, let me remind you, we are also using NLP to process text. We are also using computer vision to process the images, and then collectively that becomes a multimodal AI. So NLP and CV collectively makes a multimodal AI. Okay, so then it lets scholars study visual patterns at a scale close reading could never reach. Close reading means I'm reading one book at a time. Uh, Multimodal AIs would be doing a distance reading. You remember that word, right? Now, if we put it together, monomodal is fast, simple, and cheap, but multimodal is richer but heavier to build and run, and that's why they are costly. Neither is simply better or worse. Okay, the right question is never how many modalities a tool combines. It is whether the extra channel is needed or not, whether it is carrying some information your research question actually needs in finance, physics, psychology, or a 500-year-old manuscript. Does it need that channel? If it does not need that channel, by channel, what do I mean? The kind of input. Okay. If it does not need that, we don't need that. That's the idea of entire multimodal AI. The examples are ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, even DeepSeek. Every one of them are now multimodal AIs. Okay, they can generate also, they can understand also. We are focusing on understanding. We are not focusing on generation. We are focusing on understanding, that if they understand the monomode, they understand the multimode as well, all of them. So that's the idea. We'll meet in the next class, and in the next class, we'll try to answer the question on how ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini are working. Actually, next two classes are reserved for that. Thank you. Goodbye.